All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Honestly, it's looking a little scary out there again today. Markets are down. And Bitcoin at 91,000. Nvidia down to 184s. NASDAQ all the way back down to under 25,000. Google at 287s. What's weighing markets mostly this morning is Home Depot had earnings, and they are down 2.5% roughly on that earnings miss and weak guidance. They basically said, we didn't have any storms. Again, I'm from the South, so hurricanes, that people need to go buy a bunch of stuff from Home Depot to fix. Nvidia down 1% today ahead of earnings. Nvidia is down this morning as well, about 1%. Walmart has earnings Thursday, I believe. Amazon, Microsoft down, Nvidia down, AMD is down. Almost everything is down this morning. Bitcoin again at 91,000. And yeah, again, Home Depot dragging down the broader market. Shares are down after the company reported a profit miss for Q3. They cited a, quote, lack of storms and continued weakness in the housing market as reasons for softer demand, which has scared investors about the health of the consumer. If we take a look at yields this morning, are, yields are kind of flat on the week at 4.1% right now. But they're basically flat today. Today we have jobs data, right? So if you want to know anything that's going to move yields, jobs data might. We're at 4.102% for 10-year Treasury yields. If we take a look at the rate cut odds, I believe they're still under 50%. Yeah, they're at 47% right now. Likelihood of a cut, 47%, 53% likelihood of a pause. And like I said, the market's looking kind of scary today. It really is. It's looking scary. It kind of looked scary yesterday. With that said, look at Bitcoin rebound here. So, again, Bank of America report shows 74% of small and mid-sized business owners expects revenue to increase in the next year. We had some other stuff going on. Cloudflare is aware of and investigating an issue with which potentially impacts multiple customers, according to them. So there's an issue with Cloudflare, Google was upgraded at Loop Capital. Amazon and Microsoft downgraded at Rothschild. What's up, Kato? Yeah, I see X is kind of glitchy right now too. Chat GPT and platform websites are down for some users as well. So Cloudflare being down is affecting everything else. And yeah, today we got ADP payroll data. Now, this isn't really like the last one where, this week we got a lot of data, but today we have ADP prelim employment change. Last time it was negative 11.25 thousand. The last time weekly perspective, we lost almost 11,500 jobs, over 11,000 jobs. So today we got the second version of that, or another version of that, I should say. It drops at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. That's in a little bit less than an hour. We'll put a timer up here so we can cover it. All right, so we got about 54 minutes left. Again, Nvidia is still at 185, so it's still basically right where it was yesterday at the opening bell. I think we did get a jobless claims report that came out, if I remember correctly. I believe we did. I'll put this timer up. Again, I'm hearing rumblings about it. What I hear is that the jobless claims report, and I think they just released it. What I hear is that it showed up at 232,000. Let me see. For the week ending November 1st, 231,000. Yeah, so it says the seasonally adjusted figure for initial claims decreased to 231K for the week ending in September 13th, which was a big decrease from the previous week. The number of people receiving unemployment benefits after an initial week of aid, the proxy for the hiring rate, which is called continuing claims for the week ending in November 1st, this figure was estimated to be 1.942 million, a slight decrease from the prior week. Why would they releasing? Department of Labor needs to get their stuff together, bro. You know? Here's the Department of Labor. But yeah, it was 231,000 jobless claims, which is high. You know, like jobless claims are how many people are filing for unemployment, so that's pretty high. Do you live in the governor's mansion? Yes, I do. That's where I live. When will market data get back to normal? Well, it's starting to get back to normal now. This week we got Thursday, we have the labor report, the payroll report, the NFP employment report, whatever you want to call it. So we get NFP data Thursday. Next week we get PCE data and GDP data. So it's kind of coming back. We're getting some of the delayed releases right now. Yeah, so Cloudflare is down. And that's dragging down, I think, a bunch of different system tech. What I'm seeing. Again, ChatGPT is down for some people. ChatGPT and platform websites are down for some users, according to the OpenAI status page. X is down for some users. Again, markets are mostly down. S&P E-mini down 0.4%. NASDAQ down 0.5%. Dow down 0.7%. Which does kind of show it's Home Depot related. Home Depot had bad earnings, and they're down. Yeah, so users indicate problems at X for an estimated 11,320 users in the US as of this morning. Again, Bitcoin dropping still, again at 91,000 today, and this is mostly just due to the lack of rate cut, odds for December now. You know, we're still 50-50, or we're for like 46-47%. But again, Cloudflare shares down 2.5% after the company says global network experiencing issues. Remember, this is NET stock. Here's Cloudflare right here, which is, you know, what's causing some of these issues. They are down from 202 to 195, so they're dropping a little bit here. NASDAQ still looks pretty weak today. Medtronic dropped earnings. We did have Medtronic drop earnings, and again we got payroll data coming out, or jobs data coming out in less than an hour. Yeah. Stifel raises the price target on Nvidia to 250 from 212. And markets are down today, guys. Again, Home Depot dragging most of the markets. You can see the Dow is down more than a lot of stuff based off of just Home Depot alone. Dow down to 46, 46.30s. Home Depot down 345s. Bitcoin down to 91s. And again, this jobs data might influence things. I think we still have a lot of stuff. I don't think no rate cut in December is like confirmed yet, especially if even now the odds are 45%. I think that we could get a lot of stuff that might move us closer to that or farther away. Specifically, we got ADP data today. We have labor data Thursday. We have Fed minutes Wednesday. We have Nvidia earnings Wednesday. So a lot of stuff to be honest, that could swing those odds. And then next week we have PCE inflation. We've got GDP data. Yeah, jobless claims were weak, showing more claims than expected. 231,000 for initial claims, 231 to 232. All right. And again, ADP weekly prelim estimate later today. Last time showed up over 11,000 contraction in jobs. Over 11,000. But yeah, X is down for a lot of people. So it's working for me. At beginner trades. At beginner trades, but it's working for me. OpenAI is down. And yeah, we got some stuff to cover today and tomorrow and the next day. But like I said, we did get some upgrades. Google upgraded at Loop. Amazon and Microsoft downgraded at Rothschild. Deckers Outdoors was upgraded to a buy at Stifel. Pennant Group upgraded to overweight at Wells Fargo. XPEV upgraded to a buy at Dawa. Amazon downgraded to neutral at Rothschild & Co. KeyBank, Auna downgraded to neutral at JP Morgan. Bunch of other ones too, to be honest. But yeah, so markets are down. Everybody's scared right now is essentially what's going on. Markets are fearful. A lot of craziness going on. I use the CME watch tool, Augusta. Everybody does, basically. I'll probably trade today. We got volatility. You just gotta be careful. We might get squeezed out of stuff. Easy. Big range. Just be careful. But yeah, I'll trade today. Yeah, so again, Google, people buying up Google. Home Depot's scaring people. Obviously, market weakness, lack of storms. Main trading thread in the Discord. Only trade I took yesterday, 155 points, realized 2 hours. Hey, good job, dude. Nice. It's a good trade. Good trade. We broke down honestly all day yesterday. Like, I was mostly looking at Bitcoin because I figured the market was going to follow Bitcoin. Like, fear in Bitcoin creates fear in a lot of stuff right now. Plus, a lot of people invest in markets using crypto money, and like, there's just some correlation with it, especially right now. And so I'd peek at Bitcoin and just see Bitcoin just getting hammered. I'd see another update like, oh, Bitcoin's at its lowest point. I'm not anywhere near as close. Like, I'm in Bitcoin, but I'm not anywhere near what I was like, a while back. And so I hope it goes up though, and I want it to go up. I'm in it. Hope it goes up. But I'm not Michael Saylor with my whole life savings in it. Yeah. Here, LSU might get Lane. Lane Kiffin. What do you expect from ADP data today? I expect weakness, to be honest. But it's not something in which it's easy to predict. But I'm just guessing weakness because that follows the trend that we've seen. Sometimes they'll give you the opposite, but I'm going weakness. What do you guys think? Do we get weak or strong ADP jobs data today at 8:15? Weak or strong ADP jobs data? Yeah, job claims are high, 231 or 232,000. I'm still trying to figure out where they release that. Department of Labor is usually who puts that out, but I don't see it. Weak, strong, weak. ADP means weak. ADP weak means how Nvidia reacts. That's a little bit more difficult. Weak numbers today. Jobless claims was released sometime in the last 24 hours. They just randomly released it. They didn't put out a timing. And I mean, it's an old jobless claims report from October, right? So it's one of the October jobless claims numbers. Jobless claims, like the reason we usually, if you guys remember it, it's been a long time. But Jobless claims is a weekly unemployment report filing, right? So it reports how many people are filing for unemployment week to week. It's like a week delayed, but it's more real time than like the monthly delayed labor report or other stuff like that, right? So it gives us a more real time look at unemployment. But because the government was shut down a lot and we didn't get any jobless claims reports over the last month, they released one of the old ones. I think it's from October. In October's mid shutdown, it's not a surprise to see claims uptick, but I I'm sure it's a little more nuanced than that, but I'm not necessarily shocked, like some people in the chat are saying, to see the jobless claims report showing high numbers at 232,000. I think that's pretty obvious. I'm happy X is down. I need a break from it. It was getting too toxic and bearish. My issue with social media right now, especially in the context of crypto, is like, bro, you got so many crypto people telling people these wild things. Like, it reminds me of penny stocks, to be honest. They're like, it's going to fly tomorrow. Tomorrow, this is going to happen. And during the government shutdown, most of what these guys were saying was just not true. They were like, oh, a rumor the shutdown's going to end now or today. And then in a week, 2 weeks would pass by. And then they're saying, oh, the rumors is going to end now. And they're putting out all these theses about, again, it's just confirmation bias. All of it's just telling people what they want to hear, telling people, saying what they want to happen. And markets sometimes don't behave that way. You want them to behave that way. I want, listen, I'm in a bunch of stuff. I want them to go up. But I think sometimes you got to call a spade and look at things for what it is. And again, those markets are scary right now. I think Bitcoin will bounce back, but it's scary right now. It's at 91,000. It dropped, 30 something thousand at this point in time. To me, it's scary. And honestly, the whole market's scary, not just Bitcoin, but the NASDAQ, the S&P, the Dow. If we're getting a small correction, 10, 15%, sure. I'm okay with that, to be honest. I really am, Yeah, I might lose a little bit of money, but it's not, I'm not going to lose my life savings, like I said. But the market's scary right now. They all turned around and said they called this. None of them called it, bro. Almost all of them said that when the government resumed, Bitcoin would fly up and break highs and we'd be dancing in the sunshine, Like, none of them called this. They all basically told you guys the government was resume and Bitcoin would fly up. And that's kind of the opposite of what happened, actually. The problem is that everybody's trying to socially engineer it. Isn't that high enough to trigger the SOM rule? I don't think so. SOM rule goes by the unemployment rate. And I believe the SOM rule, if I can remember correctly, is that, oh, dude, what is it? It's like if unemployment upticks by over 0.5% within a certain period of time, I think it's within a year. In any given calendar year, that triggers the SOM rule, but I'm not 100%. Let me look this up. It's something like that. The SOM rule is something like that. SOM rule signals potential recession when 3-month moving average of the unemployment rate rises by 0.5 percentage points or more compared to its low over the previous 12 months. So yeah, essentially what I said. So basically, if the 3-month moving average upticks 0.5% within a 12-year period relative to its low over the previous 12 months. So again, potential recession is what it predicts. Right, the biggest people, the people who do the best in situations like, and I'm going to preface this with, look, guys, it could always be different. It usually isn't, but it could always be different. Understand all this stuff on screen. I can't guarantee anything. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Don't copy me. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial professional. I might be wildly wrong about anything I say. Don't do it. Don't copy me. If you do, I'm not liable. With that said, though, and out the way, the people who tend to do the best in market crashes are people who buy the dip. You might have to hold it for 10 years, but they generally do really, really well. people who do the worst are people that say, oh no, and they sell, and they, you know, they sell after we drop. You can sell before the drop happens, and you're probably, you know, yeah, everybody wants to be the next Roaring Kitty, 100%. Problem is, Roaring Kitty isolated a super squeezable stock at the time, right? Bitcoin's market cap is so large, it's not even close to what GameStop is, you know? GameStop was at the time, I should say. And you can kind of see people got involved with Amazon, or not Amazon, AMC. Thinking AMC would squeeze like GameStop, but AMC had way more shares. You know, the float was much larger for AMC. Wasn't as squeezable. You know, there are too many shares out there. It diluted squeezability, if that makes sense. And people just didn't really get a big squeeze in AMC like they thought, and it honestly created a lot of market influencers in that space. And they started to just where it kind of reflects what we see sometimes in crypto, where they're telling you all these conspiracy theories about why it's going to run and when, and most of the time they're wrong, you know. With that said, though, I'm a Bitcoin bull. I don't want anybody to hear me talking about this and think that I'm not a Bitcoin bull. I am. I just understand. I had to deal with the last bear market, which was scary in Bitcoin, you know. And so I understand it'll probably be okay, but it might take years, again, as it sometimes does. All right, guys, we got 35 minutes. Let me do a poll. I haven't done a poll today. What price? I'm gonna ask people what price is the bottom for Bitcoin. I'm gonna do 90K. I'm gonna say the approximate, I should say. But what price is the approximate bottom for Bitcoin? 90K. We're gonna go down to 75K. And go down to 65K roughly. And then we're gonna do under 50K. Alright, vote on the poll. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, vote now. Alright, Bitcoin, with that said, bouncing back up here. I'm watching 91.5s right here. I want to see if 91.5s holds. Been kind of choppy all morning, but yeah, I got my brace off, guys. They took my brace off. They said I can walk barefoot now. They said my MCL is basically healed. So, you'd love to see it. Yeah. Home Depot had bad earnings. It's down. I'm actually in Home Depot too. But I'm holding Home Depot long term. It's one of my long term positions. You know, it pays a dividend. Like, I'll sit in this. It doesn't matter. State of Massachusetts expected Mass Mutual to keep tabs on their workers. Hey, dude, how are you supposed to know that? You know? Yeah, now X is down for me, actually. It's not really down. Like, I can see some stuff, but yeah, X is basically down for me right now. Internal server error, it says. Visit Cloudflare. All right, guys, Bitcoin climbing back up here. Bitcoin climbing back up. Look at this. Look at this pop. And I can't look at X right now. Looking at our poll, 35% think 75,000 is the low. 29% think right now is the low. 18% think 65 and under. 19% think 50,000 or under. I mean, all right, look at the NASDAQ turn and look at Bitcoin rise. Bitcoin up, NASDAQ down. Look at Nvidia. Then they got 184s. Yeah, the Cloudflare added. The Cloudflare is taking a lot of stuff down. It took down X. It's Chat GPT is down. Gemini still works great. Yeah, I'm trying to see where they see this, you know, jobless claim source. Because when I look at the page, it's usually supposed to show up here. And this is the old one from September 25th, right? So I'm not really seeing where they got these jobless claims numbers from, but that's okay. They got it from somewhere. Enough people are saying it's out to somewhat confirm it, but. And it looks weak, guys. Buy or sell right now? Is it a buy or sell? I have a feeling we're going to see a really red day today. Honestly, was it yesterday pretty red for everything? Again, we're getting to a point in which, okay, so let's take a look at some percentages right now, just for crash bear market watches. All right, so the S&P 500, relative to highs, all right, relative to highs, S&P 500, I'm going to call the highs at 690s for the S&P. It's at 662. So the S&P is down 4% relative to highs. The NASDAQ, I'm just going to look at the QQQ. NASDAQ at 600, highs are about 630s, 37. That's 600 right now. The NASDAQ is down almost 6%. The Dow, in the Dow, 48,520. 48.5 is what we'll call it. It's now down to 46.3s. Dow is down 4.5%. And so again, S&P down 4%, NASDAQ down almost 6%, and the Dow is down 4.5%. The markets are down. Bitcoin is obviously down much more, but on a percentage perspective, we're somewhere in the middle right now. This definitely is somewhat of a correction, but yeah, the ADP numbers come out at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Last time they showed up at over 11,000 loss of jobs week to week. So ADP data, again, releases live 8:15 Eastern Standard Time in 30 minutes. Home Depot down on bad earnings is dragging stuff down. Yeah, getting a little pop and things. But again, Cloudflare glitch is weird. I'm wondering if this is going to affect. Yeah, I'm wondering if this is going to affect anything else. Yeah, Nvidia earnings tomorrow is even more Nvidia earnings is even more relevant right now. Because Nvidia earnings have the opportunity to make or break the market. Nvidia earnings are wildly important for the state of tech valuations, microchips, everything, AI, and if they come in hot, that's great. We can be saved in markets. We can bounce back. We can rebound. You know, everything's all sunshine and rainbows if Nvidia beats earnings and reacts well to it, potentially. If it does not, if the market either interprets the earnings as negative and Nvidia drops, or if the earnings are not as good as we expect them to be, it can exacerbate this problem that we're seeing in markets over the last week or so. It was definitely a little bit scarier right now in markets. And so, yeah. What do you guys think? Will Nvidia beat or miss their earnings tomorrow? It's definitely scary right now. Yeah, we could either rebound tomorrow or it could cause problems. Cloudflare is down. NET stock. You can see NET stock right here. It's what's dragging X down. It's what's dragging a lot of these sources down. Chat GPT. Here's Cloudflare. Yeah, Nvidia, if we take a look at it. Nvidia on a percentage perspective. Highs are at 212s. We are currently at 185s, roughly. On a percentage perspective, we were, again, 212s, 185. We are down 12.5%, 13% almost for Nvidia, relative to highs. So again, AI and tech valuations are scaring people. Bitcoin is scary right now. It's dropping. Let's see if it holds at 90,000. Beat and drop, beating revenue, but miss EPS, beat and then sell off. It beats it easy. The price of PC components are almost double. Beat, small beat, but we go down. It'll be, but still might dump like Palantir. Beat. Will markets react well or poorly to the earnings? Not whether they beat. Yeah, I mean that's probably true. Yeah, Bitcoin tapped 89,000. I saw that. I mean, I would love the market to continue higher, but it's looking scary right now. It really is. It might rebound super strong though. We don't ever know. Yeah, we popped down. And again, markets, it's hard to monitor them right now. X is down. Markets are down. Yeah, so Cloudflare, NET stock is down. And so X is down, Chat GPT is down, a bunch of other places are down. Yeah, I mean, Ueda signals the Bank of Japan is going to remain on a rate hike path after the Prime Ministers meet. After the Prime Minister meets. And so, then people unloading some U.S. assets because of potential hikes. Yeah, so, dude, I'm not even seeing nothing's working right now. I guess so much stuff. You know, the Prime Minister Takaichi held a meeting with the Bank of Japan Governor Ueda. But again, Ueda signals Bank of Japan is going to remain on rate hike path after PM meets, so... You know, raise rates, higher interest rates, maybe. Alright, Nasdaq's testing this low again at 24.7s. Look at this low test. Just broke clean underneath it. Again, markets are scary right now. Google's actually still green on the day, though. Google's one of the only tech stocks green. Meta's red, Microsoft's red, Apple's red. No, Apple's green, I'm sorry. Apple and Google. Microsoft's red, Nvidia's red, Netflix, red, Amazon, red. So almost every Mag 7 stock is red outside of Google and Apple. No, don't you find it strange that whenever the market goes down, or software like this goes down? It's not always true. We've had some software problems where the market wasn't going down over the last... Software is software. It happens. Day window of correction into the FOMC and then Momo rally for government. Yeah, maybe. Can you in brief justify what's happening to the markets? Yeah, Home Depot earnings sparked most of this downward pressure here. Home Depot came in weak for their earnings, and they are down some here. They're at 344s. And they're down, you know. So most of this is linked to Home Depot. They had an earnings miss and then issued weak guidance. They basically said our sales are down. We don't have any hurricanes this year that are really causing problems for people. Housing market's weak. And so because of that, their numbers are down. Their guidance is weaker. And so Home Depot gapping down a little bit on this news. That's what's going on. That sparked a continuation in the weakness we've seen earlier this week with Bitcoin, Amazon, most of the tech valuations, fears. As ironic as it is, super red markets are better for my numbers. For selfish reasons, I'm not saying I want the markets to go down, because I'm in stuff, but like, bittersweet, you know? I appreciate you 1,000 people here to watch the ADP numbers. Thanks so much. We appreciate you guys. Do we get a Santa rally this year? I guess more people tune in when there's a fire, is what it is. If markets are boring. Yeah, no, I live in Texas. I'm glad we don't have anything this year either. Last year was not fun. Last year, I think I got stuck in Michigan for like an extra week because storms, you know. And I love Michigan and all, but like, you know. Yeah, I'm a Louisianian at heart. I like Texas, but yeah, Texas, they had storms, floods, all kind of stuff. Yeah. All right, guys, NASDAQ back at lows. Home Depot's still falling here. Again, we only have about 20 minutes left before the ADP data comes out, about 20 minutes. Bitcoin back down under 91.5s. X is still down. Oh, wait, is it back? Okay, X is back for me, which is good. So X is back up for me. You just got to refresh. Again, Cloudflare outage disrupts X, ChatGPT, and others. They reported widespread outages disrupting services for sites like X and ChatGPT. They said it was investigating an issue affecting many of its customers Tuesday. Some websites have begun coming back online, but there are others that, quote, may continue to observe higher than normal error rates as we continue remediation efforts, end quote, according to Cloudflare. Bank of America survey says Magnificent Seven is most crowded trade, buying the leading U.S. tech stocks of Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Meta platforms, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Tesla is considered the most crowded trade by 54% of respondents in the Bank of America Global Fund Manager Survey for November. Long Magnificent Seven overtook long gold as the most crowded trade in November, Bank of America analyst said. If we look at gold this morning here, tapped 4,000. Tell me assets don't move in psychological ways. Look at this 4,000 level. You're telling me we bounced exactly at 4K? I might start buying the dip in gold right around 4,000 anytime we get to it, but not telling you to do it. Not an investment professional, but gold down to 4,000. Back up to 4,030s this morning. NASDAQ's flushing down here. Look at this drop. Microsoft, Meta, falling down. Like, I'm in Meta, but it's so cheap and it's such a small loss that, like, I think I'm just gonna sit in it. I've lived in Ontario, right on the border of the U.S. though, in Batchewana, Sault Ste. Marie. It's nice. I like Canada. Poutine's good. You know, winters are ridiculous, but the summers are nice. It's actually a really like beautiful country. mountains, you know, Great Lakes. As long as you're not in the winter. Winters are nice too, but you gotta just sit inside by the fire. Is ADP becoming more reliable as an indicator than Bureau of Labor Statistics? I don't know about more reliable, but it's private data. All right, Amazon at 270, 227s right now, 227. So tech is breaking down here. Again, I'm not really trying to touch this right now. Not on the long side. Too scary. We got job numbers that I think people are getting freaked out about right here in 16 minutes. And it's too steep. Again, markets are scary this morning, guys. Sometimes markets are scary, and I'm not trying to, you know, I'm not trying to trade markets like this. I'll wait for the opening bell, see if we get some fun momentum. But look at the drops here. Burry might have been right. The question is, did he re-enter a position? If he closed down Scion, did he exit and re-enter? You know, Amazon at 227s. Nasdaq's looking weak. I mean, again, we're still only down about 5%. Even with like the Nasdaq being down 6%, the S&P being down around 5%, and the Dow being down around 5%, you have to look at where tech is. Tech is down probably more than 5%. If we take a look at just the Mag 7, we did Nvidia. Nvidia's down about 13%. Microsoft relative to highs. What was highs at Microsoft? 550s? Yeah, 550 highs. It's at 507s. So in a percentage perspective for Microsoft, 555 down to 507. Microsoft's down almost 9%. Meta, one of the big drops, down from 7. Meta was at 796, basically $800. It's at 600s right now. Meta is down 25% for Meta. This is why I bought the dip roughly right around where we're at now. I'm not telling you to buy it though. There's obviously still risk. Microsoft, we did Microsoft. Amazon, 258, 259 roughly. Microsoft or Amazon is down 11%. Google's honestly really not down that much. It was at 295. It's at 285s right now. So Google is only down about 3%. Pretty small. Again, Nvidia's down about 13%. What am I missing? Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Apple. Apple's really not down that much either, but it's less tech focused. So, or it's less AI focused. 277 down to 267. What was that? 3.5%. Yeah, 3.5% roughly for Apple. And so, yeah, I mean, Mag 7 stocks are down, especially tech related ones. Especially, tech stocks. I mean, Mag 7 is tech, especially AI stocks, I mean. Yeah, Tesla. Take a look at Tesla. Tesla's wild, though. The percentage moves on Tesla are always kind of crazy. I'm going to call the highs on Tesla around 475 because that's where we were prior to this correction. Again, 475. It's currently at, what, about 400? Right now, where's it at this morning? 405s. But this is a much larger percentage move for Tesla. Tesla's only down, even with things, 15%. Still not good. But the point is, you can see most Mag 7 stocks are down double digits, percentages. And so, yeah, obviously that's not good. We got 13 minutes before the ADP non-farm employment data. 13 minutes, chat. And will we get a Christmas rally? A Santa rally? Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, y'all just be careful. I'm buying dips long term. Short term, who knows? This might take 10 years, you know. I mean, I think if Meta's down 25%, you know, it's a dippy dip. All right, guys. So the president is also speaking on Truth Social right now. He's talking about healthcare. He said the only healthcare I will support or approve is sending money directly back to people. He said people will be allowed to negotiate and buy their own much better insurance. And here's United Health, dropping a little bit maybe on this. Starting to see a V-shaped rebound here, though. Let's see if we get back up to 750s now. Again, the president said the only healthcare support, sending money directly to people, basically. Feels good to have data again. It's been kind of boring. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. We got 1100 here already. We still got 15 minutes, so I appreciate you guys. Did the jobs data release already? So jobless claims came out, 232,000 for jobless claims. That's a different release. The jobless claims are done by the Department of Labor. The ADP data is called the ADP employment change. It's just a different report. But yeah, we did get jobless claims releasing but it was for a week in October. So it was a little bit delayed. It was some of the delayed jobless claims data that we normally would have gotten already. Again, it showed up at 232 versus 219 expected. And again, the last ADP employment change number showed up at negative 11.25 thousand. Negative 11.25K. All right, look at this V-shaped recovery and things here, though, man. Wow. Look at this move. Weird, like on X, none of the media, like some of the news is coming out, but none of the media is loading. Weird. Yeah, I'm trying to see. Look at this V-shaped recovery, though. We went all the way back up to the 200 exponential here this morning. Nvidia popped back up a little bit. There's United Health right here, but here's Nvidia. Nvidia did rebound a little bit here. Yeah, so here was the last ADP research. In 4 weeks ending October 25th, private employers shed an average of 11,250 jobs a week, suggesting that the labor market struggled to produce jobs consistently during the second half of the month. These numbers are prelim. It could change as new data is added. How slow is too slow, it says. The ADP National Employment Report showed that job growth had resumed in October after a 2-month downturn, with private sectors adding 42,000 jobs. The gain was welcome, but it wasn't broad-based. Education and healthcare and trade, transportation, and utilities led the growth. For the third straight month, employers shed jobs in professional business services, information, and leisure and hospitality. However, limited. October's reading was still positive to the belief of many economists and investors. Among these market watchers, there's a growing sentiment that job growth will remain slow for the indefinite future due to a reduced demand and short supply of workers. So how slow is too slow? That was the last report The next one drops in 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Weak knees. What is it? Arms heavy. Vomit on sweater. Mom spaghetti. Something like that. You know. Honestly, I went to the doctor yesterday. Doctor said my MCL is healed. Strong knees, sir. Strong knees. All right, guys. Listen, we have 7 minutes left. 7 minutes. Hey, bud. Doing, dude. Bro. Have a good day at school, bud. It's definitely the top 3 strongest knee ever that I have personally. Like, one of my top 3 strongest knees. Yeah, 100 points up in the NASDAQ. We just went right there to the 200 exponential here. Look at the 200 EMA right here. Bitcoin's still struggling to get over 91.5 thousand though. Morning, just wanted to say correctly nailed the 100 cows of Bitcoin drop over the week. Now that this bear market is just getting started. You VIX bets. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, guys. Ooh, gotta be careful today, man. Again, Cloudflare taking a lot of stuff out. Morning. Home Depot sparking this move down, though. Yeah, again, my X was down for a little while. My X was down for a little while. Alright, guys, 5 minutes here. 5 minutes. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you catch up to the stream. We appreciate it. You get ADP numbers drop in 5 minutes. Last time they should have been a negative 11.25 thousand jobs. Negative 11.25K last time. We're here. We're ready. We'll see what we get. Oh no, dude. Some of my sources here are down too. Hang, bro, everything's down today, dude. Honestly, with all this data coming out, bro, they better get this stuff fixed. I mean, I still got some sources, but damn, dude, y'all get this fixed, man. How could you not? ADP's working, though. The website's working. We're gonna have to pull it the old-fashioned way here. All right, guys, here we go. 4 minutes. My X is working, but my other sources are not. I mean, I got some of the stuff live, but some of it's not working though. Some of it is. I don't know. A lot of stuff's down. X is down. Cloudflare, NET stock is causing problems this morning. It's down, causing ChatGPT, X, a lot of other sources to be down this morning, unfortunately. OpenAI and INTU agreed to a multi-year partnership in which INTU will deepen its use of OpenAI models and make applications available on ChatGPT, according to the Wall Street Journal. We have 3 minutes left. We will know if ADP is bad or good looking at the NASDAQ. I don't know. I think jobs numbers being weak means a higher likelihood of rate cuts. And I think that's what Bitcoin and crypto and other sources want. But again, I think it could go either way, to be honest here. All right, here we go. Jobs data about to drop. We have 3 minutes left. 3 minutes. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you put it in 2x speed. And make sure to catch up to the stream. It could be bad as good, good as bad, or it could be good as good, bad as bad. Or it could be good as bad, and bad as well. Either way, it could go either one of those ways. We really don't know. We'll cover it and watch the market reaction, though. Yeah, a lot of stuff's down. All right, here we go. 2 minutes, chat. 2 minutes. Hit the subscribe button. This report should move markets. I think markets are waiting for this report. The labor report from, it's a more real-time look at labor, to be honest. We don't have jobless claims, or we haven't. Some of them showed up for October at 232,000, which was high. Higher jobless claims means people are filing for unemployment. Again, I would be careful with this one, though. We don't have a lot of stuff's down right now. So a lot of stuff's down. My X is back down again too. It was working for a little while, and now it's back down again. So I would just be careful right now. A lot of stuff's down, unfortunately. Good news is that the ADP side is not down. Some other sites are still working too. All right, guys, here we go. We got about a minute left here. Again, hit the live button next to the play button, put it in 2x speed. Let's see what this report shows here. All right, here we go. This timer's a little bit early. Again, put it in 2x speed. Again, because of all the data sources being down today, I'm doing my best here, but I'm hoping it'll be real-time release. I'm on the ADP website as well as a couple other sources that are not down. But just be careful. Today there could be a delay. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Cloudflare is dropping a lot of stuff, or putting a lot of stuff out. Again, X is down. GPT is down. A lot of stuff's down. Here we go. All right, 20 seconds, chat. 20 seconds. Hit the live button. Put it in 2x speed. All right, here we go. Do we get? Again, last time should have been negative 11.25 thousand. See what this one shows. All right, here we go. Here's the report. And here's the release. Canadian housing starts are out. We're waiting for the ADP numbers. Last time they were like 5 minutes late on this. And even now, the Main Street, like, we haven't gotten any movement, and even this side is down. Look at this. Even the ADP side is down right now, guys. Weird. Last time they were 5 minutes late anyway. And honestly, I don't think they're out because the market has not moved, you know, barely at all. Okay. Starting to see a little pop here. I see Canadian housing starts are out. I don't see the ADP numbers. Oh my gosh, dude. Now the ADP side is timed out. Yeah, I told you guys it's a weird day, man. A lot of stuff's down. Like the way I would normally check these sources is down. Even like the so much stuff is down right now, guys. And even on the other sources, I don't see them out yet. No. Yeah, I don't see them out yet. But like even the ADP side is down. And even when I do look at the site, Nothing shows up. Yeah, Cloudflare, unfortunately, it's causing problems. And I'm sure it's probably causing problems for ADP as well, realistically here. But I don't see anything on the tape. Again, most of the tape is down, to be honest. But just weird. Maybe they're having trouble releasing the data, but NASDAQ hasn't really moved either, though. We got Canadian housing starts out. Supposed to release at 8:15 today. We are now at 8:17. And again, they haven't even updated their website that I'm showing here. Here's their website. This is where the last one showed up. You know? So. Waiting here. Well, Cloudflare is down right now. So again, like I said, there might be delayed today. They were late last time, and we didn't have any issues last time with stuff like this. Unfortunately. Again, X is down, ChatGPT is down. I think Bloomberg is down. I try to click on stuff, even on ADP's website, it says gateway timeout. So. Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably just problems releasing this data. Okay, this is November 12th. See, even their featured post is different now. Weird. Data lab, reports. Yeah, again, Cloudflare dragging a lot of stuff down. Look at the NASDAQ turn here. We'll see if we get the reports. I don't have access to X here as well to watch some of the stuff to see if it comes out either. Yep. I mean, the NASDAQ's dropping down here. Let me see. I still don't see anything. Checking trading economics. X is down. So much stuff is down right now. And I don't see anything regarding the ADP data, unfortunately, guys. We're waiting. Yeah, net is down. I don't see it anywhere. Half my sources are down today anyway. Weird. Again, I think the last ADP data showed up here. The last Pulse report showed up here, and they haven't even released the second one. So, like, here's the November 11th one right here. Right? But no new ones yet. Macro. Media. An ADP, bro. You said you were releasing this report. Where's it at? Again, the last one showed up here. Ridiculous, man. No, it was late by like 5 minutes last time. It wasn't 30. It was like 5 minutes. It was supposed to come out at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time today. Yeah, ADP is down. Again, Cloudflare is down. There's just problems everywhere, man. Unfortunately. We're waiting for this to come out, but how come you get, like, again, we're sitting here. Yeah, honestly, this is scaring a lot of people. Honestly, the market's dropping right now. And again, here's the NER pulse. It's still showing the last one. I'm trying to cover it for you guys, but man, with X down and everything down, nothing's working. Strange. I don't see the next ADP report until date until December 3rd. No, I mean, if we look at some of this here, like, look, here's the schedule for ADP data. Tuesdays, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Here's 11:18 today. Weekly prelim estimate, supposed to get it today. 11:18. Mainstream macro. This is where it's supposed to release, is right here. And it's just not out. Again, I'm guessing they're running into Cloudflare problems too. Realistically. Like, I'm assuming they're running into Cloudflare problems too. 42,000 is the old one, brother. I'm pretty sure. Emilio. Is it 42,000? I mean, I don't know. You may be right, but I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure the 42,000 is the last monthly report. I love it. Yeah. Love you guys. Again, we got Canadian housing starts at 232,000. So, yeah, X is down. Bloomberg is down. The ADP side was down for a while, you know. I was hoping they would release it, but man. Yeah, I'm looking at the last report, but nothing yet. Yeah, the month of October. This is a weekly prelim employment report is what this is. ADP is now dropping it weekly. Although they're late. Still waiting here. I'm on the mainstream macro site. Not getting anything, unfortunately. It's a weird day, bro. Cloudflare has taken down most of the sources I use to pull this data, and it looks like it's not just me, it's everybody. Like even ADP is down. Again, trading economics doesn't have anything. A lot of stuff's just down right now. Import-export prices should have potentially come, but again, we don't have any report. We're supposed to get another one today, but nothing. ChatGPT is down. X is down. Very strange. Very strange. X is down. ChatGPT is down. Nothing's working. Very weird. Here, let me pull up Discord. I don't think I have Discord up. If you guys see the numbers show up, let me know. But I don't see anything right now. Yeah, it's just really strange. Gemini's fine. Yeah, I've been using Gemini. 8:25. Maybe they'll release it now. Maybe they'll push it back by 15 minutes and release it at 8:30. Again, nothing on their site yet, though. Strange. Still waiting on the ADP numbers. Nothing yet. Oh, it's working for some people. For others, it's down. Yeah, I'm getting the post not loading thing on X as well. Yeah. A lot of stuff still down. 8:30? Hey, I'm for it. I mean, they can release it at 8:30. It's supposed to come out at 8:15, and I can show you this because, look. To access this weekly reporting, visit Mainstream Macware weekly on Tuesday, 8:15 Eastern Time. That was almost 15 minutes ago. Yeah, I mean, I got a couple sources that are still working, but most of them are not. Cloudflare is down, causing problems. Yeah, what it is. Again, this is where it's supposed to release right here. But this is last week's, November 11th. I'm trying here, guys. I'm trying. Let's see if this could work. Yo, where's gold at? Again, it's a weird day. Cloudflare has taken down almost every source that most people have for this. X is down. A lot of stuff's down. Here's 8:30 though. We got 8:30 in 1 minute. We'll see what that looks like. Again, this report is going to be called the NER Pulse. They haven't even updated their website here. Yeah, they were 5 minutes late last time. Now they're 15 minutes late. Hey, all good. Yeah, I mean, I'm here. I'm covering it. I told you guys before, this one might be delayed just because of all the stuff going on. I mean, it's still probably going to be today. We're just going to see when Cloudflare starts working again. Here, NET is the stock of the company that's down right now. I'm surprised they're not down more with all the drops that we've seen here. So... yeah. All right, here's 8:30. There's 8:30 right now. And we see no movement at 8:30 either, guys. Here, I'm looking at the main street macro report. Nothing. 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 There's 8:30. I don't even know if we're getting import-export price data today. Almost everybody is down here in sources. Weird. All right, we are getting a pop here. Look at this. Data out. Let me see. Or is this just import-export data moving stuff for 8:30? Negative 11.25 thousand was last week's numbers. Okay, a net gain of approximately 14,000 private sector jobs per week is from the report that was released today, November 18th. Okay, we'll see if you're correct. Yeah, 14,000 jobs gained. Private sector. 58,000. Okay. Some people are saying it's there at 58K. You lie to me, you're getting banned. Trust what you guys are saying. I don't see it on my end. But 58,000 jobs gained. Look at Google up to 290s. Yeah, I don't have any of my sources. They're down today from Cloudflare. And when I check the ADP website, I don't see anything. All right, NASDAQ is reacting favorably, though. I don't see the ADP data, but again, I'm down everywhere. Oh, that's 58,000 jobless claims 4-week average. Yeah. That's the 232 number. Plus 14,000. The numbers aren't out, dude. They haven't reflected their website. Here's the website. This is the old report from last week, October 25th, ending week. So. And honestly, the last ADP report that I'm showing here, negative 2.5 thousand. Okay, negative 2.5 thousand. Okay, a bunch of people are saying negative 2.5K now. So, negative 2.5 thousand. Negative 2.5 thousand. It's weak. Yeah, so we finally got it. It is negative 2.5 thousand. Finally, dude. It took so long, bro. This is weird. What a weird day. Look, here. I'm going to put these numbers up on screen here. Negative 2.5 thousand is correct. Weekly ADP change, negative 2.5 thousand per week. Previous was negative 11. So, it's weak. It's still negative for jobs. I don't know if it's bad for cuts. I wouldn't say this is necessarily weak for cuts. What this is it's better than last time, but still weak. Is what this is. So again, it's better than last time, still weak. Man, ADP needs to get their ish together, bro. I'm just saying, they need to get their stuff together. Cloudflare, you're taking everything down here. I don't appreciate it. Negative 2,500 jobs. Took long enough. Can't even post a GIF on social media here. But yeah, negative 2,500 jobs. It's still weak. It's not as weak as last time, but it's still weak. Put that out there. That's what's kind of going on. It's weak. It's not as weak as last time. Again, weak, not as weak as last time. Negative 2,500 jobs. Yeah, let's take a look at yields and see how they're responding to this. You can see gold's pushing up. Gold's at 40,050. Yields are actually, I think these jobs are still weak. I don't know if they're like super weak, like people want them to be if you want cuts. But they're still weak here. We're down to under 4.1%. Kind of unchanged, but we are down a little bit from this peak here. NASDAQ's reacting negatively to these numbers. It's still a contraction in jobs. Like, negative jobs numbers are not good. They might not be as weak as people expected them to be, but they're still not good. Yeah, NASDAQ's falling. Gold's spiking up on this. What a weird day, though, man. And again, my sources are down. Most of them. It took long enough to get this stupid report. And again, here's the report. She had an average 2,500 jobs a week as employment losses slowed. Heading into November, these numbers are prelim, could change. You can see the graph here from NER Pulse. So again, like, we were much negative at negative 11,000 last time. And we have since bounced. Let me make sure you guys can see this. We've since bounced back. Let me here. We since bounced back a little bit. So again, it's weaker. It's still weak, right? It's still negative. Here's 0. It's still below 0 at negative 2,500. Here's last time at negative 11.25 thousand. And here's where we were in September. So we have decreased substantially since September. But we did bounce back a little bit week to week. You know, you can kind of see that bounce back. I'm like John Madden over here on this graph. But again, negative 2,500, still not a good number. Hiring is slowed from early this year, so we think that new hires, which we define as workers added to an employee payroll in the last 3 months, will be shrinking share of the workforce. Instead, they're on the upswing. What gives? In October, new hire accounted for 4.4% of all employees. ADP data shows up from 3.9% a year ago. The growing share of new hires would seem to run counter to the slowing pace of hiring. That contradiction tells us a lot about today's job market. New hires typically fluctuate with the business cycle, but the aging U.S. workforce means that demographics have begun playing a bigger role in hiring decisions. Employers are hiring to replace existing workers, not increase headcount. Here are the 3 interesting insights into the new hiring trend. In 2019, before the pandemic, new hires accounted for 3.9% of employment. The share peaked in 21 as employers added workers. As of 25, in October, the share of new hires stood at 4.4%, larger than the previous 2 Octobers, even though job growth was stronger last year and the year before. One explanation is the number of people employed or looking for work has been shrinking over the past few years, suggesting that people are leaving the workforce at a faster clip. Labor participation 63.3% in 2019, only 62.2% in August of 25. So less people looking for jobs, essentially what they're saying here. Here's new hires as a share of total unemployment, or total employment. October, it increased a little bit from the last few years. Now 4.4%. Pay growth has stalled. Here's pay growth. Median annual pay. Construction tops at 52,000, 0% year-over-year change. Information has lost 18% in pay growth. Natural resource mining down 5%. Other services, business services, trade down to 0. Yeah. Again, Nasdaq still flat. Gold loves this. Bitcoin back down to 90,000 right now, guys. It's still kind of scary. Gold down to gold up to 4,063. Bitcoin down to under 91,000 here. Bro, honestly, this is like a couple weeks of ADP data, and I'm not impressed with it. Why am I not impressed? Because they're freaking late every time. Again, they're late every time for this report. Again, negative 2.5 thousand for ADP, but man, they're just not reliable here, guys. They're just not, I mean, I give them a little bit more credit today because Cloudflare messed everything up for everybody. But come on now, ADP, do this better. Yeah, ADP data used to drop like that too. Like on my sources. Again, a lot of my sources were down today, but it used to drop quickly. Let me look at yields right now. I mean, yields are basically flat. Nasdaq hasn't really moved that much. Bitcoin back up to almost 91.5 thousand. We can look at rate cut odds and stuff. You can really look at yields to see this, though. Yields are falling down a little bit on more weak job numbers is what this is, right? So if you look at yields, yields are decreasing. This actually shows a lower interest rate sentiment. Yields and interest rates follow each other. We're down to 4.09%. We're at 4.95%, 4.095%, I should say. So this might actually increase the odds of rate cuts come December. And it did. If you look at the December odds for rate cuts now, it is currently at 99%, or 49%, I mean, 49% likelihood of rate cuts. So it did increase a little bit. With that said, Bitcoin is also bouncing back on this. Again, Bitcoin is bouncing back. Yeah, I mean, again, this actually gives more odds of rate cuts. It's weak labor data. Even if it's not as weak as last time, it's still negative jobs. And so this increases the odds of cuts, shows more weakness in the labor market, more justification in lowering interest rates to stimulate the economy that this data shows it's weak. And again, that's essentially where we're at right now. Rate cut odds have increased slightly from this report. Slightly. And again, odds of rate cut actually just popped up on this report too, even more. So look, odds of rate cut are now 55% on average versus 45% odds of a pause. So the odds of a cut have actually increased on this weak labor data, showing more need to cut rates, more weakness in labor. And I wish it was 99%. I misspoke. But man, is X down for you guys as well? My X is down. Financial Juice is down. Bloomberg is down. Market Watch is down. Even my Google links are down. Like, yeah, look at these odds. Yeah, rate cut odds increase. Yeah, NFP data this Thursday. We get late NFP data. Incredibly important. Incredibly important. Gonna see if we continue this trend of weak jobs. Incredibly important. Bitcoin is down. Yeah, Bitcoin at 91,000 right now, guys. It's definitely a little sketchy to trade here. Y'all be careful today. It's scary in markets right now. Scary markets. Again, we lost 2,500 jobs in the week ending November 1st. Previously, it was 11.25 thousand jobs decreasing. And so, no, my stream's fine. I mean, I don't know. We got 1,300 plus people here. Stream's running good, right? No issues. Yeah, Cloudflare, which is NET stock, is the problem today. It's dragging a lot of stuff down. So, the data, I mean, was it decent or pretty bad? I would say it wasn't decent. It was negative jobs. It was negative 2,500 jobs in a week, which ain't good. You know, is it the worst it could ever be? No. It was weak enough to make where rate cut odds jumped up 10% from this report. So now we have 55% likelihood of cutting rates in December versus 46% roughly prior to this report coming out. And so it wasn't necessarily good. And again, a lot of stuff's still down. Gold spiking up to almost 4,070s right now. NASDAQ still trending weak, but sideways. Bitcoin still at 91,000 here. Looking weak, scary. Yeah, it was better, but it was better than last time, and it's still not good. You know? Still not good. It's negative job numbers. Increase the odds of rate cuts. Just because negative numbers, negative number. You know, it doesn't matter what we were last time. If we're still negative in jobs, it's still not good. I mean, it's better than 11,250, but... yeah, again, it's a weird market today, guys. Weird market. Hey, are you sitting at my grandma's house? Bro, if this is my grandma's house, this is a nice house. If this is my grandma's house, she's living life over here at this house. Honestly, rest in peace to my grandmothers. But I don't even think my grandparents could take care of this house. It's too big of a house. Y'all see my water bill? This is all part of the Great Reset, eliminating fraud and abuse. This may entice the Fed to cut rates. I agree. I agree. Yeah, I think the likelihood of a rate cut jumped up 10%. It's still moving though. You can look at yields as well and see that yields have fallen down, but they've kind of catch their step a little bit. They're back up to 4.096%. So yields actually going up a little bit here over the last 5 minutes. Still down though from this report. And again, the odds of a rate cut are currently sitting back down here. So these are fluctuating. They're at 48.4% right now that I'm showing here. But again, it's a weird day. We don't see. Now they're at 50+%. See what they are now. 48%. This might just be Cloudflare being down. Look, reset 48.4%, reset 50.6%. I don't know what to think about this. I don't know how right this is. And again, here's the jobs report that we got. Again, so we were better than last time. Still negative here. Here's negative line. Here's the zero line. We are below that at negative 2,500. We were much weaker though last time, but still weak this time. Enough to where odds of rate cuts are either jumping or the data's just off. Looks like every time I reset it, it switches back from 50 point something, 48.4. Now it's at 50.6 again. Now it's at 50.6. 50.6. Yeah. Again, this is Cloudflare down. You think they're going to do QE? I don't know. Quantitative tightening ends in what, 12 days? How many days are there in November? There's 12 left. There is 30 days in November. I don't know. Gold's interesting. It bounced exactly at 4,000. Exactly at 4K this morning. I don't know what gold's doing now. Gold's had a large pullback, but it's still pretty strong. Bitcoin also weighing on markets. Dude, what's weird is that X was back for a little while. Like, I had X working for a little while, and now it's down again. Yeah, Cloudflare took everything out this morning, to be honest, unfortunately. Most of the sources for data, ADP was 15 to 20 minutes late. Based off of this, 15 to 20 minutes late. Yeah, Gemini works fine. It's been working fine all morning. Again, oil. We can take a look at oil this morning. Oil at $60 again. Been going back between like 61 and 58. Here's 58 and here's 61 for oil. It's in a range though. It is in a range. I'll give it that. Tesla down to 400s. Meta down to 590s. Home Depot is really what's weighing on the market so this morning. Home Depot down to 340s. Cloudflare is what's dragging everything down today. If you look at the symbol, it's NET. NET. Cloudflare's drop it. Look at NET. It's down to 190s. Yeah, they said they're investigating an internal service degradation. Yeah, this is basically a global internet issue. Cloudflare is a internet infrastructure, and it being down drags everything else down. Again, here's net right now, cracking lows down to 191 on this drop. This is the last thing we needed in markets today, to be honest. Nasdaq and S&P and Bitcoin and crypto are already down significantly over the last week. The last thing we need is Cloudflare to crap out on us this morning, to be honest. Yeah, I'm still in Home Depot. It's a small position. And again, like, I'll probably just sit through this. If it drops too much, I'll get out. If it drops to like 250, I'm cutting it probably, or maybe I'll add more. I don't know which one I'll do there. But it's small. I don't ever get into anything where I'm gonna be like genuinely super nervous about these positions relative to my account size. So. All right, we're very choppy right now too. Let me see if I can trade some here. I was gonna short this, but we rejected so quickly up there that I think it's a little too late now. Again, Microsoft down to under 500 as well. A lot of stuff's weak. Real estate investment trust will do well in this environment. Yeah, I guess I'd rather Cloudflare go out today than on Thursday or Wednesday. Wednesday's Nvidia earnings. Tomorrow's Nvidia earnings, guys. So Nvidia earnings are important. Nvidia earnings important. And so, okay, my X is back up here. My X is back up. So my X is back up. Again, negative 2,500 jobs for ADP. Sheesh, dude, it took so long. Again, negative 2,500 jobs for ADP here. Weird. So yeah, now mine's working. Let me take a picture of the ADP jobs number so I can put this on screen. Where'd it go? Not it. There it is. And again, if you want a recap of the jobs numbers, give me a follow on x.com at beginner trades. Again, X just started working for me, like just started. So. Now it won't even let me upload a post here. Oh, come on. Yeah, it won't even let me upload things on x.com. That's why nobody's posting it. Weird. Is the music too high? Yeah, I got you guys. My bad. Let me know if that's better. Cameron Winklevoss, this is the last time you'll ever be able to buy Bitcoin but below 90K. Jobs will accelerate down. Yeah, I mean, again, they were weak today. They weren't as weak as last time, but they were still weak. They were negative in numbers. Yeah, you're right. It is back down. It worked for just a second. Oh, no, it's back. Okay. Duffy says air traffic staff back to pre-shutdown levels. Okay, I figured out what it is. It won't let me post any images. That's what this is. It won't let me post any images. So if I try to post an image or a GIF with it, it won't let me do it. That's what this is. But yeah, X is down. I don't think anything else is really working either, though. Nasdaq started to creep higher, though. Bitcoin bouncing back. Oil still a little elevated on the day. Gold has been fighting back from these job numbers here. Rate cut odds have increased. At least they were the last time I looked at it. But it's hard to tell whether they're really up like this. Weakness in jobs. Yeah, I'm showing 50.4%. Let me ask you guys a question. What are you guys showing for the CME watch tool, the Fed watch tool? What are you guys showing for rate cut odds in December? I'm showing 50.4%. We're basically 50-50 split with a slight majority for a 25 basis point cut. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at a bunch of different charts. Here's Google. Google's still green on the day. It's at 290. $50.4. Okay, you guys are showing the same thing as me. Somebody said I think Lowe's is better than Home Depot. I think at least in my area, Lowe's is pretty empty. Home Depot's the spot if you want stuff. Lowe's, I don't really know about Lowe's. I haven't been to a Lowe's in years. Maybe it's just me. But the Lowe's in my area is failing. And, you know, I'm not going to invest in Lowe's regardless of what the dividend is. This beat don't go chasing waterfalls. If it was Snoop Dogg that produced it, maybe. Is he called Snoop Dogg now? What's he called nowadays? I don't even know what his name is nowadays. Isn't it like, wasn't it, no. Wasn't it like Lion or something for a while? I can't remember. I am getting old, that's for sure. You know who's getting old? Freaking Snoop Dogg is getting old, you know? All right, guys, NASDAQ is in one of the most obvious ranges I've ever seen. Honestly, I kind of want to short this here, though. I'm going to short it right here. You know what? I'll try. If we go down to 24/7s here, I'll add a little bit to it, too. There we go. You'll love to see it. I'm going to take half off. Sit on the rest. We're still dropping here. If we continue down. We got a little cushion on the day now, though. We took profit at the peak up there. Or at the drop. I might add a little bit to this, too. Look at this drop. Wow. All right, so there's 9 o'clock. Also, guys, if you want to check out Topstep, great way to help support the channel. No PDT in futures. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, gold. Most day traders lose money, so if you try to fund your own account, you're probably going to lose. If you funded thousands of dollars, you're probably going to lose that. It makes no sense to do that. Most day traders are going to lose. And so try this. It limits your risk. It's $50 a month. It's kind of like a souped up demo account in that regard. If you pass it, you get a 50K funded account, 90% split. I think you get to keep your first 10K as well. If you fail, you lose $50. So limited risk, similar reward to funding your own account, and they pay out millions, fund thousands. You can reset funded accounts, 0 commission on Topstep X. Very similar to day trading equities in terms of patterns, and just really useful. But again, they're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased. I get paid by them. Genuinely useful for traders, though. Genuinely useful. Understand all this stuff on screen. Looks like I'm gonna add to this position here. I already got a cushion on the day. But again, if you want to check them out, great way to help support the channel. Here's the link. I'll pin it to the top of the chat. They're a sponsor of mine again, but useful. All right, so we're tapping 750. I'll let 750 be my line in the sand. We're really close to the 200 exponential, so I want to see if we reject here. But I also got to be willing to cut this quickly. This is looking really strong short term. Oh, dude, I just added. I did not mean to add that much to it. I was trying to cut it actually here, and I just added at the worst spot I could. Yeah, I gotta cut this now. Dumb mistake. I clicked the wrong button. I forgot I was short. I was thinking I was long for some reason. So, dumb mistake. I'm gonna switch accounts. I'm not gonna trade that one right now. Dumb mistake. What do I want to do here? Any breaking news? Medtronic exec says tariffs hit a bigger position in Q3. Yeah, I'm actually short in another one here. And I'll show you guys this. Which one is this? This one. I'm short one contract here. We jump back in once it broke down underneath it. Might add to this though. We get some favorable price action. Do not. I'll add to this one. There we go. It continues down. Struggling. Seems heavy. There we go. Let's take half off up there. Sit on the rest with a little bit more cushion now. Go, that's better. I cut it right here. So honestly, we made most of the money back that we lost on that accidental ad that we did. So we're kind of flat on the day on this one now. Yeah, I don't even claim to be a good trader, not an investment professional. Don't copy me. Half the time I have no idea what I'm talking about. Some of you guys are going to agree with that. And yeah, just don't do it. Gold still rip it up. We're at 4,073 right now. IBM announces Consulting Advantage integrates with Microsoft Copilot now. U.S. exporters sell 792,000 tons of soybeans to China. The Fed says bank supervisors should focus on material risks in exams. Again, the Cloudflare outage is apparently affecting over 100 million website users, with thousands of websites reporting complete blackouts. We're getting a lot of internet outages. It's been weird. Bitcoin's still, look at 91.5 thousand. So we're still kind of consolidating underneath this. We've been flat for the last few hours. No, I didn't buy. I mean, I bought some stuff last 3 months or so, but they're all pretty small. Supermicro announces a new AI factory cluster solutions based on Nvidia enterprise reference architecture and Nvidia Blackwell AI infrastructure to simplify the deployment of AI at scale. Today feels like one of those weird days in markets. It's definitely weird just because a lot of sources are down, job numbers are weak. Yeah, we got 23 minutes. Markets are scary, to be honest, right now. I think we got some housing data at 10 a.m. as well this morning. If our sources are working correctly. Yeah, I really want to short this again here, to be honest. All right, we'll go ahead and do it. I'll add to the top. Let's start small. We're gonna take 2 more here if we can. We didn't really get a shot to. Not holding up there long enough to add to it. Better. We don't get some crazy big squeeze up. There's 2. I'll add 3 to this. And here's the crazy squeeze up all of a sudden. Don't like this at all now. The retraces all the way back down. That's better. I'm gonna reduce my size a little bit here though, just to protect it. Just push down. Goes. Go. Let's take another half off just to protect that one too. Choppy price action though. We're kind of flat. If we can break down some. Tape. The US and Saudi are expected to announce a deal on multi-billion investment in America's AI infrastructure, according to the administration. Go, that's nice. This continues down. Might also add to this. Problem is that when we go up, we've had these big green candles, and then like they look really strong and then get rejected here. So. Apple's resilient because the fear is tech valuations, and Apple's less involved in AI. And I think the PE ratio. What's the PE ratio of Apple right now? Like 35, so it's not as bad as some of the other AI companies. So it's just less AI centered versus some of the other Mag 7, which are much more AI centered, at the whim of AI valuations, fears. They, there we go. That's a nice drop. Let's see if we continue here. I'm going to add a little bit into this now. There we go. Give it a second longer. There we go. We'll cut half of that there. If we break down some more from this. There we go. Love to see it. We'll cover that too. All right, we're out. I don't trust this very long, you know. Yeah, and I'm confused about what to do with my meniscus here. So the doctor thinks my meniscus is an old skateboarding or like BJJ injury, like a degenerative injury. Now, there's a tear in my meniscus, but it's small. The flap was not displaced. Look at this breakdown. I should have held this a little bit longer, but it's all right. It's all right. And my doctor wants to shave the flap off, because he says it'll be more stable, but my meniscus doesn't hurt at all. And so people are like, yo, do not shave the flap off. Just leave it alone if it doesn't hurt. If it starts to hurt, then you can shave the flap off. I don't know what to do. All right, so we are breaking down. Again, this looks kind of weak. Bitcoin's breaking down to 91,000 here. We got 18 minutes. The market opens. It's the top 3 greatest meniscus. It doesn't hurt at all. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't hurt. Like, why would I do all this stuff if it doesn't hurt? I'm going to get plasma injections. Black Tuesday. Yeah. Make the flap great again. I would say the flap's pretty good right now. If it hurt, it would be the least, you know, it would be the top 3 worst flap ever. But right now, the flap in my meniscus is, I would say it's the top 3 strongest flap ever. It doesn't hurt. There's no pain. There's no instability. You know? All right, guys, this still looks pretty weak, but right now the market could just fly up. It's a big, beautiful flap. That's right. Yeah, my MCL's healed. Top 3 greatest MCL ever right now, guys. Again, market's scary right now. I would be very careful. Bitcoin's breaking down. Yeah, I would just be careful. You know, Nvidia earnings are the make or break it number. Nvidia earnings are really what's going to drive the future of this month and markets right now this year. Nvidia earnings could go either way. They could go really, really well, and we can rebound, and thus we're saved from this bearish red market, or we could go completely the other way, and we could have a negative reaction to Nvidia earnings, and it exacerbates the problem and causes just a continuation of this big fear, redness, weakness, overvaluation fears in tech and AI. And so I don't know. Let me know which one you think is going to happen. Either one of those things could happen. We also have the NFP report Thursday. We got the Fed minutes tomorrow as well at 2 p.m. following or preceding Nvidia earnings. And then we have the NFP report that we haven't gotten in a month plus, Thursday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully, Cloudflare is back up and running by then, and we don't have all these blackouts like we have today. But it's an interesting week. We got a lot of the delayed data that we missed and more, and so it should be very interesting. Again, the U.S. and Saudi Arabia are set to announce a deal with a multi-billion-dollar investment in AI. This will be a part of the pledge to invest $600 billion in the United States. Redbook showed up at 6.1%. I think we also have some, don't we have some real estate numbers coming out at 10 a.m.? Home builder confidence index. Yeah, again, here's Nvidia, guys. Nvidia breaking down, looking weak. Nvidia's not really crashing, but it's not good either. Yeah, I mean, most stuff's still down on my end. And honestly, markets are still kind of weak right now. Yeah, factory orders, housing market index. We'll cover it, but I don't know how big it's going to be. We'll see. Much job loss in AI. Yeah, where's Quantum at during this crazy correction here? Quantum stock's down as well. QBTS down to $22 a share. Rigetti down to $24 a share. The Quantum stock's also correcting some here. Definitely some fears going on in markets right now. Definitely some fears. Again, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We are going to be trading the opening bell live here. I think been kind of a back and forth morning. Google Cloud, EMEA, and Unis designated as critical information and communication technology third-party service provider under EU DORA website. Got that news coming out. Redbook showed up at 6.1%. Previously, it was 5.9%. Robinhood not out yet. Bitcoin eventually become one of those things people look back on and say, wow, remember when we used to buy that weird Bitcoin through computers and phones? I don't know. I think it's more than that. I think there's too much big money involved in it now. You know? Like, I don't think Bitcoin's going the way of NFTs. Again, 37% think Bitcoin bottom at 90K, right around where we are now. Twitter's working for me. So X is working for me now. Took a little while though. Again, Cloudflare begins recovering from worldwide outages, taking popular service like X and ChatGPT down. Again, the US and Saudi Arabia are set to announce a deal this morning as well. 10 minutes left until the opening bell, chat. 10 minutes. You guys red or green so far today? Red or green? So green, super red. I'm pretty much flat. Mega red. Bloodbath. Green, $3. Green is green, man. Listen. Proud green market participant today. Red, flat, red. So red all week, but I'm full port. Yeah, I mean, my stocks are definitely red this week. Crypto's red too, I guess. I think it's hard to be green in stocks this week unless you're shorting substantially, though. Red stocks for sure. Green, nice green. Carnage, haven't traded. NFTs. Yeah, I don't think they're going the way. I'm just talking about hyped up assets over the last 10 years. Timer for what? ADP numbers are already out. You can see them at the bottom of the screen. They should have been negative 2.5 thousand. So, negative 2.5 thousand. Yeah, it's definitely a little scary right now in markets for sure. Do you think ADP weekly will not be that much reactive compared to monthly? I mean, we reacted to it, but I think the market fears are already kind of consolidated to today. We got Bitcoin down. We got S&P, NASDAQ, Dow down. We have Mag 7 mostly down outside of Google and I think Apple. All the other Mag 7 stocks are down. decent percentages relative to highs too. We have gold up. You know, there's just a lot of uncertainty right now. People are scared. Now maybe we rebound back big. I don't freaking know. But we have quantum stocks down. Would you start to DCA? Maybe in some stuff. Again, I'm not an investment professional though, but maybe in some stuff. All right, guys, we got 7 minutes until the market opens. 7 minutes. What are you getting for the Christmas holiday, guys? Or for your holiday gift? What are you getting this year? Look at the NASDAQ still flushing. Nvidia still flushing. Definitely top 3 least knowing non-financial professional person in the world right now. I'm getting AI for Christmas. Hey, good luck. Bro, it's not even Thanksgiving yet. Bro, don't bring that negativity in here, dude. You know? Gold. Rip it up this morning. It still looks pretty weak here, though. Looks like it's going to come back down and test 24/7s, but maybe not. Bitcoin back up to almost 91,500. Luxury perfume. I can't think of a more useless thing. You know. What are the dolls? The dolls that are like 500 bucks for like a little freaking, you know, claw machine toy. What are those things? That might be more useless. Yeah, I remember I took my wife to Louis Vuitton one day. She was like, you want to look at all the cologne? And I was like, dude, I don't care how good that smells. $500 for a bottle of cologne? I don't care how much money I make, dude. I'm not doing it. Principle here. Even like a, what is it? What's the 30K purse? Not doing that either. All right, Nasdaq's flushing down here, guys. Look at this drop. Again, it looks weak. Looked weak. Nvidia falling down to 183s right now. Tech is falling. Again, market's scary right now. Birkin. I can never justify a Birkin bag. Like, hey, let me spend 30K on something that within a year or two is going to be beat up and messed up. It's nonsensical, you know? I just can't justify that. No matter how much money I have, I can't justify it. Bitcoin back over 91,500. NASDAQ tapped these lows and then retrace all the way back up. Let's see if it continues down. Let's watch 24/7 here. Nvidia is what's breaking down right now, I think. Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're down that much, dude. Stop trading so large, bro. Huh? My wife can justify it, dude. Even she would probably reject it. Even though I was like, hey, baby, I'm gonna buy you a Birkin bag. She would probably be like, dude, don't buy me that. No, you're gonna spend 30 grand on a bag? She'd say no. Bro, I heard you already. Stop spamming, dude. Sorry you're down. 100,000. Gold's right here, brother. Gold's right here. Here's gold. Here's Bitcoin. Here's Nvidia. All right, guys, 3 minutes here, 3 minutes. I'm not going to ask her that just because if for the slight chance she is like, okay, then I'm kind of stuck to it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not even going to mention that. She'd probably reject the idea, though, but if slight chance she doesn't, you know. Nothing's absolute here. Yeah, ADP came out negative 2,500. Fed says industrial production number delayed. Yeah. All right, guys. NASDAQ's looking weak. Tech's breaking down. Bitcoin's back up a little bit, though. To trim some of these positions slightly for risk management purposes. Most of these are probably going to go back up, but just risk management. Let's trim it a little bit. All right, guys, here we go. Markets open up in a minute and a half. Industrial production delayed. Predictions for today. I don't know. I think we could get some craziness at the opening bell again, or we could get sideways chop. We do have a lot of stuff coming out tomorrow, right? We got Nvidia earnings, Fed minutes report. Thursday, we got NFP data. Market could be sideways apprehensive to make big moves. Or we could continue the crazy swings we've gotten at the opening bell every day for the last few days. Either one of those things can happen. Let me know which one you guys think is going to happen. But yeah, just be careful. Bear or bull at the opening bell, let me know. In fact, I'll do a poll really quick here. Are you bullish or bearish for today's open? All right, here, vote on the poll. The poll is now live. We got 20 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed. We'll see what we get. %58 are bearish today. Bitcoin's back up to almost 92,000. All right, there's the opening bell, guys. Good luck. All right, here's the opening bell. All right, we're seeing bullish action so far. Doesn't mean it's going to continue, but so far, bullish movement. Bitcoin's still rising here at almost 92. The China diplomat says they're satisfied with the result of the Japan meeting. All right, now we're coming back down here. Nvidia dropping quickly. Tech falling. All right, so kind of a quick drop here. Google falling down a little bit at the opening bell this morning. Look at Google dip, Nvidia dip. Weakness showing up. We're testing the lows of the last few hours here. Lows of the day are right around 24.6s, right around 24.604 or so. But this is weak right now. We're only about a minute into the opening bell, but this is looking weak. Bitcoin dropping down too. NASDAQ testing lows of the day or close to it. Not the lows of the day, I'm sorry. Lows of the day again. 24,603. Look at that 667 level hold here, though. I'm watching 702s. It's still too early for me to trade. I gotta wait a couple minutes first. We're popping back up a little bit. Complete retracement back up here. Look at this move. Green. Very strong. Where's Cloudflare? Look at this green candle here. Wow. Big rebound and everything. Good. Bitcoin all the way back to over 92,000 here. I'll buy a dip if we get it, but it needs to be a pullback, a large enough pullback. There's also a chance for sideways this morning, though, guys. There is a chance for sideways. Google has retraced the opening drops that it made. It's back up to the opening candles. So. Look at that 835 level. Back that. If we get a dip down to 775, I'm buying it. Might actually buy a little bit right here. All right, we'll take a little piece. There we go. Maybe add a little bit right here. See if we bounce at 775. I'll let it retrace a little bit. I don't like Nvidia where it's at now, and I think it's scary to long right here, so I'm gonna cover. Yeah, just too risky. Look at that candle, dude. My hands are off right now. I can't risk getting whipped out too much here. Now we're all the way back down. Let's see some whippy price action here. Still kind of looking scary right here. We're dropping again. Now we're right back up, dude. It's so weird price action right now, guys. Just be careful. I think the fears are still in markets here about what we're gonna do. Gotta come all the way back down now. If we fly all the way back up, it's even weirder today. I'm gonna short, I think, a little bit right here, but we'll see. The range is huge and the markets are whippy right now, guys. Just be careful. All right, so now it looks like we're pushing back up here. Is this a relief day for some of this bearish movement here? Getting back up there. Nvidia's fighting its way back too. Look at Bitcoin back up. Still seeing some weakness here, but definitely a difficult day to make money in, I think. Y'all just be careful. If they do announce a Saudi Arabia AI deal, I think that's good. And I think that's probably coming today, but again, we'll see. A weird drop. Traders just getting beat up today, I think, with some of these drops, dude. Looks strong now, though. We did jump at a short, but we're very green from the short. We are at a nice short here. I don't really trust it though. And as I say that, it retraces almost all the way back up. We're already taking profit in this one, and we're up a few hundred. I'm gonna cut some of that there. All right, we're out. We're kind of back and forth today. We're green in 2 accounts, red on 2 accounts. I don't know what I want to do here though. It does look slightly bullish to me. But we've made such big moves and the range is so small. I would just be careful. I'm kind of sticking to micros today. The pattern looks bullish, but I think the momentum is also red. And I think we got like a range here. I'm gonna short 1 micro here. I've already got a cushion on this account for the day. I'll see if my... Why is my alarm going off? Here we go. What we want to see. I might just have to scalp some of these moves though. These moves are happening so quick. There we go. All right, I'm gonna cover this right here. I just don't trust this at all. Google red. Tech stocks, some are flat. Oh, since the opening bell though. Also, check out Topstep again. Great way to help support the channel. No PDT in futures. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, gold, some currencies. No PDT rule. Great way to learn how to day trade. Most day traders lose money. And so limiting your risk with something like this, learning how to trade with some risk, like $50 risk for the base one, just makes sense. 50K funded account. If you pass it, 90% split. They pay out millions, fund thousands. Just a genuinely useful way. Zero commission on Topstep X. Very similar to day trading equities, but again, they're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased. Understand all this stuff on screen. I can't guarantee anything. There's the link if you want to check it out. But man, markets are weird. Again, it looks weak to me, but, and I think the bear side is the easier momentum today. But certainly don't know for sure, just because we're close to lows, right? So I think, you know, moving down to test that makes sense. But we're also kind of rangy here too. Yeah, there's the weakness show up. We do have housing data today. Don't we have housing data? Let me see if any of the sources are back yet. A lot of mine aren't, but some of them are. Yeah, we're supposed to get what at 10 o'clock? Home builder confidence index at 10. And again, here's the weakness show up that we thought we'd get. We're at the bottom of the range too, though. You get a bounce, I might short it, but get a bounce to like 24/7 now. Here's the weakness show up. We can watch 650. Again, lows of the day. 603s. Liquidity grab maybe here. I'm gonna short this now maybe. We add one more to this, just one. I think it's a risky micro day, but here we go. There we go. I'm gonna remove one of these micros. I don't like this. Be a little bit looser on the rest since we have a cushion. There we go. Go. I'm gonna add to this. Take half off immediately. If we get another flush back down. Flush. Cut that. I gotta scalp this this chat. I just don't trust it enough. Nvidia's breaking down. Bitcoin back under 91.5s. It's definitely looking more momentum on the downside, but it's a little scary here too. We're back up. Maybe I'll short sevens. No, this is too strong. Look at this green candle show up. Again, Fed minutes likely hawkish according to UBS. December rate cut still possible. Dude, I'm not touching this market right now. Hey, later, Tiny. Have a good day. No, I'm watching Bitcoin today. Gonna be green today. Green or red? Let me know in chat. Yeah, it's a very strange. It's a big range, but it's sideways today, to be honest, so far. Big range, but just sideways. Look at Nvidia though. Nvidia's driving this. Nvidia's down to 181s here. And again, Nvidia earnings could save or break the day, or the week, the month. Cloudflare says a fix has been implemented. We believe the incident is resolved now. NASDAQ breaking down more, Nvidia falling fast. All right, we're still looking really weak here. Yeah, to a scary level here, chat. Nvidia earnings tomorrow are going to make or break the day. Weak month. Definitely looking weak right now. What's strange is, like, so we were weak, and then look at this big green candle, man. This thing just popped, and then right back down. So very strange. Definitely momentum on the downside is what it looks like, but I don't really trust either direction just because of the big candles that we're getting. Like, it'll look weak, and then we'll have a huge green candle, and then it'll look strong, and then we'll have a huge red candle. And so it's just whippy. It looked weak, and now we got a big green candle. So range is very large. Yeah. Still looking scary, to be honest. Look at this drop. Here's the bears showing up. Crack lows of the day, or lows of the last like 3 hours. It's not lows of the day, it's lows of the last like 4 hours. We just cracked those lows though. These are lows of the day right here. Lows of the day are right around 604. We're at 625s. 604, roughly right around here is the low of the day. Right around here. So we're very, very close to the lows of the day. I tend to think we're at least going to tap those lows, maybe break slightly, or just dump down underneath it. But not an investment professional. And there we go. We just tapped right below it. Broke lows of the day, retrace back up. See if we get another push. A lot of this depends on Nvidia, to be honest. Nvidia down to 181.20s, and it looks like it's starting to rebound. So I'll short a position here if we can find one. We're right at the lows of the day, so I want to see if we hold up here or what, but all right, so I'm net green on the day, but it's close. Again, 2 green accounts, 2 red accounts. Here's the test at the low of the day again. Nvidia's cracking lows again here, and again, Nvidia's driving this down. Nvidia, we need you, yeah. least the music's happy. Got to change to unhappy music? Let's see. Guess it's happy if you're shorts. Yeah, NASDAQ breaking lows. Bitcoin under 91.5s again. Gold falling down too with us. Burry still out of his puts. I don't know. Burry closed Scion Capital down. He went private. Margin calls, yeah. All right, NASDAQ testing lows again. Look at Nvidia trying to break under 181. This is a whole dollar level here. I almost want to buy this if Nvidia bounces at 181. But the momentum's against me. I'm not going to buy it. Maybe I should, though. Should have bought it. I don't think it's gonna hold. I think their momentum is just too much against me to buy it though. Oh yeah, we do have some data at 6 minutes. What do we have? We got existing home sales. No, we got housing market updates. Yeah, my sources are back to durable goods for August. Factory orders. NAHB housing market index. None of the stuff's really big or influential, but we'll cover it anyway in 5 minutes, 4 minutes. NASDAQ still falling here. Nvidia down. Gold down. Yeah, we got some stuff. We'll cover it. Not going to move markets, but we'll cover it. NASDAQ still flushing down here. Pretty freaking weak, guys. Four fives. Yeah, I mean, it's been easy to short and make money. And we're net green. We add up all our losses and wins, but not very much. Nvidia, the lows of the last, let me see where Nvidia lows are. I mean, we're pulling back to a pretty important level for Nvidia, which is like 175s, I would say. 175 for Nvidia is pretty relevant. Under 180s is also kind of a psychological dynamic to watch for Nvidia. Here's 180 right below us right here. We're pushing pretty close to that here. Bitcoin under 91.5s. All right, now we're bouncing back a little bit. We do have housing data. Again, we have Factory orders expected at 1.4%. Last time they showed up at negative 1.3% for August, month over month data. We also have NAHB housing market index for November expected at 37. Last time was 37. And outside of that, we don't really have much. Next few days are incredibly busy though. Housing starts, building permits 8:30 tomorrow. Nvidia earnings, Fed minutes report at 2 p.m. So very, very busy week here of stuff. See what happens at 10 a.m. Again, we'll cover it when it drops, but I don't know how much it's going to move things. We'll see. It might move things a lot. I really don't know. All right, now we're pushing back down again. Again, we got about a minute and a half before this data releases. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it at 2x speed. We appreciate it. All right, guys, here we go. We got 1 minute left. All right, broke lows again here ahead of this report. We got 30 seconds left until the data releases. All right, here we go. And it's expected at 1.4%. Last time it's negative 1.3% for factory orders. NAHB housing market index 37 as well. Here we go. We got 5 seconds roughly. NASDAQ continues to break lows. Cracks lows again right now. And here's the report right here. Factory orders showed up at 1.4% as expected. 38 for the NAHB housing market index. 0.3% for durable transports, durable goods excluding transports. 1.9% for excluding defense durable goods. So again, mostly as expected. The housing markets was a little bit stronger than expected at 38 versus 37. Everything else was flat. And we did get a pop into this data. A little bit stronger housing data than expected here. And again, 38 versus 37 for the NAHB housing market index, as well as factory orders as expected here today. We are starting to see a little bit of a rebound here, but again, I don't think this data is super important, at least for markets. Also, guys, again, check out Topstep if you want to help support the channel. No PDT in futures. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, gold, commodities. Very similar to day trading stocks, in my opinion, at least in terms of patterns. No PDT in futures. Just a great way to learn. Most day traders lose, and including here, most day traders are probably going to lose. A lot cheaper to lose here most of the time in general, I would say, in my subjective opinion. A lot cheaper to lose here than it is to fund thousands and lose that. Most day traders lose 50 bucks a month, 90% split if you pass the test. The base one, just a great way to learn. Great way to learn. Zero commission on Topstep X. Again, I'm biased because I get paid by them, but genuinely useful. I'm going to cut out of here, guys. We're net green on the day, in a wild day. There's the link if you want to check it out. Again, they're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased, of course. We'll be back tomorrow for the Fed minutes report, Nvidia earnings, and more. So just be ready for that. Understand all the stuff on screen. But look at the market flush. Scary market right now, to be honest. Scary market. Y'all be careful. I'm net green in my futures day trading. My stocks are certainly red, to be honest. But I'm talking about day trading. We're actually green. Again, we're green in 2 accounts, red in 2 accounts. But the amount that I'm green in my 2 accounts net is greater than the amount I'm red in my other 2 accounts. So we're technically green futures. Nvidia just cracked 180s here, guys. Hold on, I'll stick around. Look at Nvidia crack 180s. Yikes. Y'all be careful. Be careful today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Big stuff tomorrow, guys. Big stuff dropping tomorrow. You guys be ready. I try not to trade super late. If I'm green like this, I cut out for the day. If I sit around here looking at charts with you guys, it'll probably get worse. I'm just gonna enjoy it right now. Y'all be good. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. As soon as I close this stream, it'll bring you to tomorrow's stream.